What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today the day has come. I have been carrying the Dagr and Knot Mini Mad for a full month now, and it's time to put it through its paces, tell you what I think, and let you know if this is a knife worth buying.
You can ask the flowers. I sit for hours telling all the bluebirds, the bill and coo birds.
Now, this knife I have been carrying in the pocket, but most importantly, inside the waistband, appendix, or at the 6 o'clock, like a firearm, and I've been beating and using and abusing this knife. Now, this is a sweet little blade, super comfortable in the hands, but we're about to beat the ever-loving hell out of this knife and see if it can survive the Reds Reviews Torture Challenge. Now, let's hurry and kick it over to my buddy, Mr. Wizard, and he'll give you the details about this before we get into the torture test. Oh, by Jesus, he needs to let me know when he's doing that shit. Now, the magic that makes the Dagr and Knot Mini Mad, short for Nomad, one of their other blade designs, is they have a textured G10 red handles. They do a bunch of different handle materials, but this one that we are having is a red G10 handle with a MagnaCut blade steel that has a coating on it. Now, coating isn't always my favorite, but we will test it out anyways. Beautifully sculpted, super comfortable, and very ergonomic. Some back jimping. Very comfortable, very useful blade design. Also, this is a molded Kydex. Super great retention if you wanted to use this as, say, a neck knife or any other way, with a very nice clip to go over your belt or to catch your pocket. This is actually the same clip that's on my Winkler knife, so I really appreciate that. Now, this is a smaller company, and I'm very excited to take a look and beat on this knife and see if it's worth my money and if it's worth yours. I have been the Knife Wizard, and until next time, back to Red. Thanks, Mr. Wizard, for helping me out with that. Now let's get into this review and torture test outside. Before we get into the destruction test video, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of the channel, Summit Watch Club and Timber Knives. Summit Watch Club has a great selection of watches, out of order, G-Shock, Cousteau, Doxa, Ball watches, Yema. They have a great selection. They're really good friends of mine, and they do a lot to support the channel so I can keep getting knives to review for you guys and go out on these crazy adventures. So if you're into a watch or looking to get into a watch, make sure to go check them out. Summit Watch Club in Heber City, Utah, or check them out online if you're not going to be in the area. And with that, right next door is Timber Knives. Awesome guys. Any kind of knife you can think of, SE Benchmade, Spyderco, and they make their own custom knives, so you got to check those out. I've done a torture test on those before. That was the knife of last month, so don't forget to go check them out. If you're looking to get a new knife, see if they have it in stock or they can get it first. Thank you to supporting the channel, and let's get back to the torture test. As always, safety first, so we got to make sure to have our safety glasses on and a glove to protect the hand a little bit. Now, definitely do not try these at home. I'm a trained professional. First off, we're going to go with the tire. Now, this is definitely targeted and designed as a self-defense tactical blade with some stabbing. right in. Super comfortable in hand, and it's just eating that up. And just like that, sidewall of this tire is gone. Now let's get on to the meat and the potatoes, the thick stuff, with some ice pick grip right into the tread. Ooh, and it's going pretty thick into that tread there. That is really good. This is some tough stuff to get through. Start going sideways, checking out that tip. This will normally break a tip pretty good. You can hear it going through that rubber. Now, with my gloves being this big, I am starting to slide up along that finger choil, so just make sure when you're stabbing like this that you've got a good purchase, and you know you might get some slippage. That's why for these smaller pieces without a ring for your finger, hammer grip's always really nice. Get a little extra purchase on it. Now, that's been beating up the tire pretty good. Bunch of nice stabs. Definitely go into some flesh if you needed so. Let's get on to the next part. You'd always throw it into a stump like you're a couple kids running around in the woods. Now let's set you up right here on this tire, and let's go through the shield. That's how she does with some stabs, huh? Woo! Shit. Look at that. Right in. Woo! This is a stabby little beast. Well, right into the black. You know what's next. Buried her to the handle. Woo! Let's go. And let's bang around. Now, this is where we're probably gonna break the tip. Woo! She's holding up. Man, she's been straight on with that. You can tell she's getting worn down, but she's taking it. That is a good blade. Whew. All right. Now let's get into the dangerous stuff. Now this knife is not designed to be your bushcrafting, your survival knife, but what if I got lost into the woods and all I had with me was this knife? I need to know if I can baton, feather stick, carve, all those things to get myself out of a tricky situation. Now that is a pretty decent piece of wood for this blade. So let's see how she does. You know how a baton works? Dropping it through. Let's smash it. Ooh, right through like butter. All right, let's keep going. Now the reason you want a baton, it's also not super recommended, but it's something me and a lot of other people enjoy to do. And what this does is it gets you to the meat and the potatoes, the internals of the wood. So even if the outside of the, ooh, went right through that knot. But even if the wood is wet on the outside, the dry part on the inside, you'll be able to light and cut. Look at that. We are You're running through knots with this thing. Let's bang it on the blade, huh? Upside down. Let's use the spine. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, another knot right here we're gonna run through. And like nothing. Okay, let's keep going. Let's put on this big old piece. Can't even get it in frame. Just with the tip. Let's try some. Let's see if we can't split this piece in half. Man. That is a gnarly fucking chop. Let's see if we can't split all the way through this piece of wood, huh? Whoo! Look at that. That is fantastic. Jesus Christ. All right, let's keep batoning right through that piece we did. Just like that. Another one. Whew. All right, let's see if she can feather. Now what feather sticking is really good for is getting these nice thin pieces to catch a spark from your ferro rod. And this will help. If you need help starting a fire, you can check out my Wilderness Skills 101, how to start a fire with a ferro rod. And I go over making a fire, but getting some nice little curls. I won't lie, I'm not the greatest at feather sticking, but let's see this piece. It's got a nice angle. This thing is holding up surprisingly well. We're gonna go over the blade and the Magna Cut in just a little while. Well, let's see. Right here, let's see if we can't do good notch. Oh my God, look how slicey that thing is. Just running right there. Little V cuts. In case you need to lash some string to this piece. Man, this thing is wicked at carving. You wouldn't expect it, but it is wickedly sharp and ergonomic, even with this knot right here. Just flying through it. Just like that, we made a little tent stake with it. Yeah, this thing is wicked. This thing's doing so well, we have to up the ante, see if we can't go sideways through this 2x4. All the way back here. Now that is a good blade. That is the Dagr and Nott Mini Mad. Now you can see that coating is beat to hell. But as far as the torture test goes, that's all I can really require out of a knife before taking it to its limits for sure. Like, yeah, I could take this to, you know, a large piece of steel and start trying to cut through steel and all that. But for what you would be beating up a knife, especially a small EDC fixed blade like this, I mean, this thing has been phenomenal for just what I've been asking of it. Most large knives have a problem beating up stuff like this, so even just beating it up like that, I mean, throwing it around, beating on it, it's been phenomenal. Let's get inside and go over the overview, huh? Hold on now, I just had an idea. Let's see if this thing can pry, huh? So we are going to take this block, this big old nail, run it into this chopping block, see if we can't pry it out with the dagger or not. Now this will really test that heat treat. I think they said they did this at 63 Rockwell. For MagnaCut, we're gonna see. All right. Let's see if we can't use this to pry. Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, like nothing. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's see. Let's do it again. Let's do it right there at the nail, huh? Hammer this boy in. Can y'all see this? Let's see. Oh. Oh. Holy shit. Come on, buddy. Now that's a nice knife. Oh, nice and straight. All right, now we can go into the back, go back to the studio, and talk about this knife, huh? All right, now is the overview of the Dagr and Knott Mini Mad, and let me tell you, I've, like I said, carried this for the entire month of June, and it has surprised me every single way. But when I first got the knife, I think the first week of using it, it started getting dull right here. And I was like, what is going on here, MagnaCut? Says it's heat treated at 63 Rockwell. For MagnaCut, it should not be dulling. And when I looked into it and checked it out, when it was ground, I noticed that it was, I don't know if it was freehand or just not really looked over, but the blade for about this section right here of the blade was ground so flat that it just completely dulled over. So I reground the blade, and I think what happened is they probably, you know, sharpened this on a belt. It got really hot and folded over, and it just didn't hold an edge, so I just hurry and hit it on the stone, hit it on the strop, and since then, this thing has been shaving like a razor. And even after all that destruction and torture, let me see if I have a piece of paper somewhere, but this edge has been holding up like no other since I reground it. So that's something I did have to mention. But since then, it has been phenomenal. And I just came in from outside, haven't touched up the blade or anything, and it's still like a razor. This is phenomenal. Now, the heat treat, the MagnaCut blade still is phenomenal. Razor, I can see a little bit of rolling on some parts of the edge, but I was also beating and prying and treating this thing like it owed me money. And kind of it did, because this thing cost $250-ish for this little guy. So I was treating it like it owed me some money, because I'm going to get my money's worth out of this blade. And long story short, it's worth every single cent. I love this knife. I have an ongoing thing. I hate coated blades. Most of my blades have a stonewash finish or a satin finish that I love. I am not a big coated person. It's one of my biggest problems with SE knives. I hate a coated blade, so if I'm going to get another one, I'm going to get a non-coated blade. But this one was given to me by a very good friend of mine, Thane. He's given me a lot of knives to review on the channel, like my favorite knife of all time now, the Falkneven S1X. He sent that out to me. And Thane sent this out to me. And I doubt he's going to want it back, and I'm probably not going to give it back, because I have beaten the hell out of this coating. Now, this is what I don't like about a coated blade, is I have yet to find a coated blade that can handle the abuse and torture and beatings I will give it. But this little knife, I'll be honest, was surprising the hell out of me. It was taking everything in stride and just kept asking for more. I am astonished at Dagr and Nott. I love this sheath. This is comparable to my Tops MSK. Sleek design of this sheath. You throw it in your waistband and you completely forget about it. And I've been loving this thing. If I'm wearing basketball shorts or some sweatpants, I hurry and clip that into the waistband. And I've got a super useful defensive and, as you saw, possible survival knife. I bet I could skin with it. Super ergonomic, super great. But altogether, like, the ergonomics, super comfortable in hand. My hand's not sore at all from putting it through its paces and working with it. An absolute phenomenal knife. If you guys want to know how much I like this Dagr and Nott knife, here's the shameless part of this. Dagr and Nott, if you want to sponsor the channel, send me out some swag. Send me out a knife. I want the Nomad with the finger ring. And I want a tomahawk. If y'all send me out that, all I'm saying is y'all can be a sponsor of the channel and I'll shout you out in every single video. I love this. I can't wait to try more Dagr and Nott knives. This thing is spectacular. I honestly can't think of another knife in this size bracket that has done this well and been put through all its paces and just keeps asking for more. And I'm going to keep carrying this thing. I'm going to keep using it and abusing it and beating the hell out of it because it is that good of a knife. So thank you to Thane for sending this out to me. Thank you to Dagr and Nott for making such a badass little blade. Hope to hear from you. Maybe. Who knows? This is a crazy world. Might get what I want, might not. But altogether, this is a fantastic blade. If it's something you like, check them out. You can buy them online. They're also at Timber Knives in Heber City, Utah. Or you can buy it directly from Dagr and Nott. I'll have them linked down in the description of the video. And thank you guys for joining this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Go get lost. Find a way.